Pete, nice to talk. Christopher Russo, good to have you with us, sir, and congratulations. Listen, you know, if you came from the right program, that's for sure, and know how to run these, especially these small market teams, mid-market teams, Tampa grooms well. Let's talk about that for a sec. Go ahead.
You know, I wouldn't be here right now without my time with the Rays and the people I got to work with, Stu Sternberg, Eric Neander, everybody else at the Rays. The last 15 years have been incredible. I've learned a ton, and I feel really prepared for this new opportunity.
It's a big opportunity for you, too. A team that obviously last year played well, won 84 ball games. You got a good nucleus to work with, Peter. I know they got Alcantara's out now, so that's a problem, but you have a lot of nucleus to work with from a major league level. Team's in pretty good shape. Discuss for me. Go ahead. Let me hear.
That's right. No, there's a lot of talent here. There's a lot of pitching talent that everybody's looking for. There's a lot of dynamic players. There's a lot of young players. There's a lot of players who can do a lot of different things, and that's a wonderful place to begin with. That's a great foundation to have.
All right, and obviously you have to make sure and make an offer to get that big slugger back. I know you say that it's not necessarily out of the question that you could re-sign him. Hits the ball out of the ballpark. Give me some thoughts on him. Go ahead. Let me hear.
Yeah, he's somebody who is really important to the club here. Somebody that, you know, I'm learning all of these things on the fly as much as possible, but it'll be really important to augment our offense. It'll be really important to try to score runs in any way that we possibly can here, and he was a really big part of that last year.
Yeah, so Lars, good hitter, and you need to make sure you keep him. And you're right, offense there. You know, sometimes it's much harder to get pitching. You have some of that. It's the offense. You still need a few bats. And I'm not necessarily up to date with the Marlins farm system. Peter, what can you tell me about the offensive aspect of this Marlins team? Go ahead.
You know, there's a lot of dynamic players. There's Jazz Chisholm. He's a really exciting young player, can do a lot of different things. Obviously, Luis Arias just won the batting title. There's Josh Bell coming back. Jake Berger was a great addition last year. Wonderful person, wonderful guy in the clubhouse, and he can really hit. There's a lot of different things in place.
And, of course, you got a good manager. Schumacher did an excellent job. He's one of the candidates for the manager of the year. He won 84 ball games. He seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. You have and they have obviously cash in Tampa, and they keep managers a long time. You're in good hands in the dugout, I would think, from the managerial standpoint.
Absolutely. I heard nothing but positive things about Skip before I came in here. Had some great conversations with him on the phone, got a chance to meet him, had dinner. Really easy, comfortable conversation, and I'm very confident that we're aligned.
All right, need a GM. I'm sure you're going to hire one. Ing leaves. She did a wonderful job. And now you have to hire a GM who's going to report to you. I would think that would be the first order of business, Peter. How about that?
I'm still assessing. You know, I've been on the job for a week, obviously had my press conference here in Miami today, just got a chance to get into my office earlier this morning. So I'm trying to learn all these things and assess what we need and what I can do short term, what I can do in the long term.
But you're going to hire a general manager, correct? You know, who's going to report to you. Are you going to do that? Or do you see yourself doing both the GM and the president role?
It's still something I need to determine. Still have a lot to learn.
Wow. All right. So you haven't necessarily made that decision yet as far as the GM is concerned. All right. How about the farm system? I know you've made a lot of trades to augment the offense, making a run here at the mid part of the year to make the postseason. So maybe not as deep as we used to be with the Marlins farm system. How about that? What can you tell me?
Yeah, the farm system is going to be a really important part of what we're going to do here long term. And you mentioned there were some trades that were made and brought in really good players. That's a great thing. One of the uses of the farm system, right, is to make trades to help the major league team. But we're going to need to build that farm system to the point where it is consistently providing high quality prospects either to be traded or for the big league team.
And a tough division. I mean, like the Rays in the American League East, some heavyweights in the NL East. We know the Braves. We know the Phillies. You got to count on the Mets of bouncing back eventually. And Washington's got Rizzo there and Martinez and won it in 2019 and will spend money. So when they get to that point, and the Marlins, obviously, there's going to be a budget there that the other four teams necessarily will not have to worry about too much in this division. So it's a little harder for, like Tampa, in their division. It's a little harder for the Marlins to do it properly in this division. How about that? Let me hear.
You know, The division is exceptionally competitive, and I expect that will stay that way moving forward. Something that I was very much used to in my time with the Rays. You know the division is going to be great every year, and frankly, it makes it more satisfying when you do build that sustainably competitive winner, that you know that you're doing it in one of the best divisions in baseball.
That's a good point. It does make it more satisfying. You get more of a kick out of beating these big teams. This is a tricky spot. Most of the jobs that guys like you, his first big job, it's rebuilding situations. Here, it's sort of a cross. It's a hybrid. You do want to rebuild a little bit, but you did make the playoffs and you're trying to win. So it's a very tricky slot you're walking into. You got a tough line to sort of, to hang in there. We got to thread that needle in a weird way. How about that, Peter? Let me hear.
It's always about keeping one eye on the present and one eye on the future at all times. And you said it, this team, they made the playoffs last year and had a really exciting season. It's also something where we want to build where that is the case every year, where every year those games in September are really meaningful, important games where you're in the race every year down the stretch. And so it's making those long-term decisions that we know are going to pay off in the future while also keeping an eye on the short term at the same time.
Now, listen, Jeter left, Ing left. Did that cause a little hesitation when a job was offered to you?
I learned a lot about Bruce throughout the entire process. And dating back several weeks ago when I had my first introductory get-to-know-you call about Bruce, and learning about him, talking to him, listening to his vision for what he wanted to build, what things are important to him, I just grew so comfortable with who he was, what he was looking to build, and it seemed like a great fit for me.
All right, so no problems from that standpoint. And how about Tampa? Let's do a second on them, Peter. Another great year and a disappointing series to Texas. It's that wild card series. Texas goes on to win the whole thing, sort of spiraled from that Tampa series, and they took off. I know the playoffs to a certain degree is a little bit of a crapshoot. Little disappointing for the Rays here, the way it finished. Let me hear your thoughts there. Go ahead.
The Rays have gotten to the point where winning 99 games and losing to the eventual World Series champion is a disappointing and frustrating season, and certainly felt it when I worked with the Rays, but ultimately that's something I think everybody in Tampa Bay should be incredibly proud of, that those are now the expectations. Those are now what they're expecting going into a season, and I have little doubt that they're going to win a World Series soon.
Very odd, huh, that the two best teams in the American League both lost to Texas without winning a game in the playoffs. Any thoughts on that?
Texas was really good. They got hot at the right time. Their starting pitching really came through, and they're a dynamic team 1 through 9 in the lineup. I think in a lot of ways that's something that we're looking to build, where they had a lot of young players who helped them. They had a lot of veterans who kind of complemented things, and they showed the formula to win the World Series.
100%. Got a deep lineup, and away we go. Good luck to you there, Peter. Congratulations as well. Keep in touch. Thanks for a few minutes here today. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for having me.